Hi, I'm Anna.
I'm Ben.
We're Odyssey. Welcome to our channel.
Today's a devastating day. This is the last episode of Heavenly Delusion that we can watch.
That is really devastating news.
Also, contextually, with the end of last episode, it is a devastating day.
I almost feel like once we click the button to go from episode 12 to episode 13, I'm going to look over to the right-hand corner of the screen and I'm going to see 45 minutes.
I'd be so happy.
Like, that's what I feel like I desire it,
Yeah.
one. And I also feel like, oh my God, like, so much is happening and or, like, about to happen and so many answers need to be given to me. Give me 45 minutes, please.
Okay.
Please.
I have expectations. You ready?
Please. Yes.
Sweet. 23 minutes. 23.
I'm sorry.
Not 45.
I was really hoping.
Outside of the outside.
なんか空気が熱くて息苦しい。
先生が言っていた外の外ということはこれがテストなのか。
じゃあみんなを呼んだ方が。
いや、もう少し調べてからだ。これがテストだってのなら点数や順位があるかもしれないからな。針金の壁があそこで壊れてる。つまりこれの向こうがさらに外だ。これ以上行けない一番外まで行けば勝ちだ。
That's an assumption.
The final outside. What is the final outside?
それは
なんでこんな不快な温度設定なんだろう。
Why did they have to
They have
make
to
it
make it
so
so hot
hot?
in
That's
here.
crazy.
Still
That's-
using language like they're inside.
They don't know
something.
any better.
I know.
They just...
なるほど。テストって感じがしてきたな。
僕、やっぱりみんなに教えてくる。
でも僕はこのまま続けるぜ。
Did they separate? Interesting. Okay.
白はどうする？
He would go with Mimihime.
Naturally.
この二人も時雄くんに子供を返すことに。
あれ？二人？
Yeah.
時雄くんの子、
Please.
双子だったんですか？
時雄くんに返すのはどっちですか？
We don't
大丈
know.
夫です。わかります。印がつけてありますから。
なるほど。で、印のある方。
ある方が時雄くんに返す子。
それでは。
じゃない。
は？もうどっちなんですか？
ない方が時雄くんに返す子です。
わかりました。大丈夫ですか？
な間違えるわけないじゃないですか。大丈夫に決まってます。
いえ。
Someone in this room,
い
please.
るようなので。
こっちはかすり傷です。いや、すべてが大丈夫です。
時雄くんの方は任せていいですか？
はい。
子供たちの安否と状況を確認の後、可能であればこの混乱に乗じてノア計画を実行します。
Execute the
The
Noah
Noah
project.
project.
ノア計画？
Like an arc?
何ですかその計画は。
We've switched sides of the room. Interesting.
すみません。今勢いで名付けてしまいました。
Spontaneous
子供た
naming?
ちを
Okay.
保護す
The
る
plan to
計
protect the children.
何日で戻るって具体的に約束したわけじゃないし。じゃあ俺が5年間探してた相手に会ったら話し込むかもしれない。それでお酒でも飲ん、次の日の夕方まで眠るなんてこともある。
How long has it been?
I know.
だけど。
Yeah, he's trying to make sense of each amount of time of what they'd be doing.
おいおい、ちょっとそこの人、許可がないと。
一昨日の夕方、女が来ただろ。
稲崎さんの昔の
Old flame.
誰も入れるなって言われてるんだよ。ケボックに火がついちまったんだろうな。昨日は俺も台所に詰めてたんだけんども、血の体に悪いや。そのうち帰ってくんだろうから、もうおい、ダメだっつの。
Good.
ちょ、待てて。
I don't feel good.
なんだ君。
Oh. Oh! What the fuck?
今の
Was he doing things before?
自分が寝てる姿なんて。そうだ。姉ちゃんのことなら。この体に残っている姉ちゃんの記憶。この体のどこかに。姉ちゃんが生きてるのかもしれない。
Somewhere in this body, is she still there?
僕の頭が姉ちゃんの体に馴染んで、姉ちゃんになりかけてるのかもしれない。それはいいな。それがいい。
We saw Robin's face.
何か違和感が。再会の時、一瞬ダメだ。何も考えたくない。もう誰かの命令だけ聞いていたい。マルみたいに。マル、助けて。
お姉ちゃん。
マル。
Maru is going to kill Robin.
What is Kiriko gonna want Maru to do, you know? Like, this is a really, like, even if someone has hurt you, this is still Robin. It's complex. It's...
なんだよ、一人かよ。なめられたもんだぜ。聞いてるぜ、お前。下の世話もしてもらってんのか。ね、どこ見てんだ。めてんじゃねえぞこのガキが。
時雄くん。
何があったんですか。
今調べてます。時雄くん、聞いてください。時雄くんの赤ちゃんです。
時雄くんのお腹の中で育って時雄くんが産んだ赤ちゃん。
コナくんの子供です。形で育てるかみんなで考えるとして僕に伝えるべきだと。
The facts.
これが赤ちゃん。僕のお腹の中から取り出した。そう。かわいい。コナは知ってるの？コナにも見せないと。
これからコナくんのところへ行こう。
諦めません。
Oh, fuck no.
園長、タイミングでね。
っていうか、歩けたの？
赤ちゃんのこっちに。
園長、とりあえず後で差し上げますから。
嫌だよ。
違う、時雄くん。
ヴィーナさん、赤ちゃんを取り上げるのです。はい。
Oh no. What the fuck?
時雄にそっくりなんだ。外の外。
ここより外はあり。
なんだ。
Someone's gonna...
What? What?
来ない
で、みんな来ないで。
What the fuck?
コナ、僕たちは一体何なんだ。
What the fuck?
They could be like
そろそろ針金の壁に戻って。
almost in a cocoon of sorts.
何も見えない。おかしいな。
で、まっすぐ戻ってきただけだよね。
僕もそうだと思ってたけど、もし方向がずれていたとしても、いずれどこかの壁にぶつかるはずだ。
His idea of
You
what
have
this
no-
outside is, he...
そうだね。
You have no concept of anything.
二人だとよく喋るね。 斜めのところ歩いとっけ。水の音がする。
僕には聞こえないけど。
You feel like so fucking awful for them.
この水が出てるなら流れの上の方が学校だ。
Right, you could follow it. Hopefully.
Oh shit.
シロ、シロ。待って、動かないで。
Ooh.
なんでそんなに僕を助けるの？
だから僕は耳姫のことを考えると、いや耳姫の体を違う。耳姫が大好きなんだ。耳姫を助けるために僕の体が何回切り刻まれても構わないんだ。
Get the idea of getting cut up,
耳姫が望む。
basically.
違う。許してくれるなら。
Oh, and his hair like that.
もういい。ロビンを殺さないでくれ。
He wants to.
I want to.
Mm.
すまん。僕は弱い。僕が見ていたものは嘘ばかりだ。自分が誰なのかもよくわからない。
お姉ちゃん、気分的には3、4回振られてるけど、もう1回聞いてくれよってやめるから。まあ恋愛対象は女だから。もし俺と春樹が出会っても友達にはなってたかもしれないが気にはなってないと思うし、春樹がそんなに好きなんだからって人はよっぽど素敵な人なんだろう。うん、まあ俺がキリコさんを好きになるかはわからないな。俺はあんたが好きなんだ。あんたがだ。あんたは強え。あんたの見てるものは正しい。飯を作るどころか温め直すのも俺は何もうまくできん。危ねえ時は俺が守る。これからは俺が守る。
僕が守ってもらったら僕の存在意義がないだろう。
Kiriko's the bodyguard!
子供の頃泣くとびっくりでこんな風になったわ。久しぶりに思い出した。
お
っていう目的は果たした。もういらない。
稲崎ロビン、その面をもう一度俺の前に見せてみろ。その時は殺す。
やっぱり連絡が取れないので来てみたらもぬけの殻っす。
絶えない。主任、ここに鍵が落ちた。
He was trying to unlock that room when Mario was chasing him. What the fuck is in the room? Oh my god. Wait, what the fuck? What the fuck? No. What the fuck? What the fuck? What was he doing?
We can't just end here.
じゃあ行くか。いつまでも引きずって
It's the outro song!
目指すは天国。危ない時は守ってくれるんだろ。
俺のピンチにはお姉ちゃんも助けてくれる。 大事なタイミングで決まんないのはず。
周りに誰もいないからノーカンしょうがないだろう。
Where's the rest? What about Tokyo? What about your twin? Is this like... What the fuck? We found each other again?
What
No!
the fuck?
Stop!
What the fuck? Okay, that was Heavenly Delusion, season 1, episode 13. That was fucked.
Okay, so are we allowed to just like look up to see if this gets another season? Was that like a true ending?
What do you mean, was that a true ending?
Like, it was that
Fuck
like
no.
I don't mean like it answers all the questions. I mean sometimes people choose to end their story in interesting places. Like, was that the intended ending?
No.
Or is there more content that maybe
It
never got animated or never got written?
It makes no sense that this would be the ending. I am certain of that, even though I have no evidence.
I was about to say, have
No.
you already heard that there's like a second season or in the making?
I don't know anything.
Okay.
I don't know when this show was released. I don't know how recent it was. But narratively, fuck no, this isn't the end. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Number 2, usually I feel like with animes that we finish, at the end, it's like season 2 in production, you know?
Right. And that didn't happen.
That didn't happen. There isn't a season 2 yet. I'm assuming that it's being made or is going to be made because that's the only thing that I can accept. But what the fuck?
I feel like it could have been. You could have. I mean, I'm talking from a place of like, I didn't write this. And I really enjoyed what I was given. So this is not ungratefulness. It's like more like a, you couldn't do that. Like, you know, it's not meant to be taken too seriously. You couldn't give me an ending like this, but never have Tokyo Kona baby number 2 and you come on. Maru has a twin out there. His whole mission, he was given a thing to inject someone with.
So,
I cannot forget that either.
What is your interpretation of what happened to Tokyo? Wait until I finish.
Okay.
At first, I think you and I both had the same, like, hope/thought that Tokyo was somehow cocooning themselves cocooning herself in with this baby, and that somehow in present day we could locate them and find them and like undo that and they'd be okay and alive somehow. But within thinking about what actually happened, we're given the man-eater at the end of the episode. I don't think was connected, but at the same time, the idea of Tokyo then using some man-eater type ability, it was very man-eater-esque, like in terms of visual.
Hiriko, like it was like almost like veins.
What do you think is happening there?
My first thoughts, because obviously my mind was spinning throughout a lot of this episode on multiple different plot points. My main thoughts in that moment and in that time was like almost like a time isolated chamber cocoon. Could we open it up and there they are within the ages that they were when Tokyo had done it, like just sci-fi stuff, you know? Like I was almost like, is this created almost this womb of protection that was going to time stasis, like because of Mimehime's line about someone breaking through something with the same face as yours and extending a hand out. And obviously that could go to the idea of Tokyo. Now, obviously, that was my initial like thoughts in the moment of all the stuff happening. As I take myself back from it, I do remember just the visual idea of Maru and Maru touch almost being like a hand reaching in from the outside inside to save someone. Like I think of Mimehime's death and how it was portrayed and how she viewed it as almost this vision, like she had a dream or nightmare where she was trapped in this cold dark place and then someone came and brought her to the light. I don't know what that, like, I don't know where to go next in terms of what Maru would, what the visual actually is. Like when Maru gets to where his goal, where he's being bodyguarded to get to, what does that actually look like? What would his twins' position in that be? Also, was he the right baby? Was he not the right baby?
That's
What's
a
the
whole
difference
different
between the
conversation.
babies?
Yeah, but
that could affect what the state of the baby is with the mother.
So we don't know if immediately after Tokyo saves herself and the baby, if she comes out of the cocoon, if she's pulled out of it, if she turned it off, and therefore that's the baby that turns it out to be Maru. We don't know if they're still, like how you said, they're frozen in that way. What we do know is that Maru exists. What we do know is that we know Dr. Sawatari exists in an area that wasn't, I don't know, because like I'm trying to figure out if the baby that isn't in Tokyo's arms can 100% be confirmed to be then Maru because of Dr. Sawatari's knowledge of where that baby currently was, and then we see him in the future.
Where do we see Dr. Sawatari in the
Dr.
future?
Sawatari is the same person who did the surgery on Kiriko and Haruki.
Nah. I'm not sold on that.
It has to be.
It could be, but I wasn't given the same amount of like, oh, is this Shiro or is this Dr. Usumi? Oh, it's the same person, just older. I feel like I was given a lot more for that in confirmation, I would say, especially now. I'm not sold on Dr. Sawatari being the same doc that we get. I feel like we got a name for him within meeting Dr. Usumi.
Yeah.
Or maybe we only got a name for Robin. Or at least got like confirmation that Robin had been seen. Yeah, it was Sakota.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it could be Sakota Sawatari.
Yes.
Like a whole name.
That's what I'm thinking. Also, what the fuck does the idea, like, I imagine we never see Robin again because it seems like to me we got confirmation that not only Robin had a relationship, whether it was consensual or not, with Kiriko, it seems like Robin killed Kiriko to get the body for Haruki with the gunshot that we heard. That was my interpretation of it. And that's why he was so freaked the fuck out when Kiriko shows up, because it's like seeing a dead body or the person that you killed.
Well, yeah, I don't disagree with that factor of him viewing that Kiriko should be dead and probably being the one that shot Kiriko. Like we talked about that scene when it happened, that he might have fled, like might have seen something, and we know that the man-eater that had Haruki disappeared, and we thought that someone rounding the corner might immediately shoot in terms of like not knowing exactly
I want to
what happened.
rephrase that then. I don't believe that Robin killed Kiriko for the express purpose of putting Haruki's like brain in it. I think he killed Kiriko, and then this is the first like period, and then
I feel like I'm not. Maybe it's just because I just came out of it. I'm on the fence. Well, no, actually, I'm not on the fence. I think I was on the fence during the episode about why we got that shot of Kiriko looking down at Haruki in bed and hearing Robin be like, Haruki's a heavy sleeper. And I think initially my mind went to Haruki being the focus of Robin. But then as I've come out of it and as the episode progressed, I was like, okay, maybe it was more consensual or not. Like this, there was something with Kiriko and Robin.
Yeah.
And this was sneaking out, your brother's a heavy sleeper.
That's why the people described
as an old flame.
Yeah.
And even more just, I don't know, just something about it. I'm like, it keeps you in this weird place as you keep getting more of these details or ideas in terms of the complexity of it. Like if Robin had a genuine love and care for Kiriko and then was inevitably probably the person that caused the death of Kiriko.
Robin's the most fucked up anime character I have ever seen.
I'm like, I feel like I need to be writing down some sort of like diagram of all these little complexities that all add into this picture of this person that I kind of wanted to watch get punched more.
I wanted him to die. And I want, like, okay, one of the hardest things for me this episode by far is like, you have to, when somebody goes through a tremendous amount of trauma caused by another person, you need to, regardless of how you feel about it, and you feel what that person who caused the harm deserves and who they are now, like all out the window. Like I'm protective. I'm like, fuck you. I need you to die because of what you fucking did. You have to be able to take a step back and be considerate of the victim, regardless of how, I don't remember the words that Kiriko used describing themselves, whether like I'm so weak, I think it was.
It was literally the next line you get out of Kiriko's mouth is I'm so weak, after telling Maru to not kill Robin.
And it's extremely hard because I don't know what it is. In my mind, I'm thinking at the moment it's denial and trying to cope with the unreality of what just happened. But Kiriko was there for 2 days.
Mm-hmm. And we know that Haruki had some type of affection for this person, Robin. And then we also know that the body and the memories that are there within Kiriko from Kiriko know Robin probably within that way. How fucking complex what Kiriko is probably feeling within their skin and their mind at the moment, I can't even fully comprehend.
Finish what my point was, I am trying to like give the character of Kiriko the emotional like complexity that a person would feel, because like you'd think that after all of the trauma that you have gone through for 2 days, that it isn't something that could be like, I'm not trying to get pinned down with the emotions, all right, let's go, you know? Mm-hmm. Like face value, that wouldn't make sense in the sense of like what the fuck you've just been through. But my point again being, you don't know how somebody who's just been through the worst fucking thing imaginable, how they process and deal with and bury what, you don't know what they need to do in order to go on living. Mm-hmm. And that was that's what I feel like about them going on forward.
It's that in terms of like, regardless of if you took away all of the intricacies to what makes Kiriko Kiriko, and it was just a person, it still would be that you cannot say that this is the right way to cope, this is how someone handles feelings. There are people that laugh when they grieve, you know, you can't think them suspect if they're laughing or trying to have fun when something horrible just happened. People, we react in mysterious ways. But if you add on the kind of issues that Kiriko as a character has with the connection to their mind, to their body, who they really are within their own skin, and we even have Kiriko having lines of the sort before Maru steps in and finds them. We have lines about that, the fact that the sisters' memories are there and almost attainable. How much of the sister still exists within this body? Is it really the two of them melding together into a new person? And I feel like that takes me, once I got that, and then we get what Maru has to say by the river to Kiriko about the fact that it isn't because Haruki is within the body of Kiriko that Maru has a crush and is in love. It's not just like, oh, the brain of this guy I would have been friends with in this body of a chick and I like girls. It's not that. It is whoever this amalgamation of two people and their combined memories and feelings and brain and body in this way that is so impossible to completely understand, because it was also so experimental. Like, no one could have predicted exactly how it would have played out. That the person that has become Kiriko is the person that Maru loves.
Mm-hmm.
And that, the fact that, I feel like if that line in speech had come without getting any lines from Kiriko about feeling that same amount of, like, trying to understand themselves, that it feels like they are more of a mesh between the two and not just Haruki within this body, I think it would have not come off as sweet and genuine and the way that I received it and the way that Kiriko received it.
Hey man, like, Maru definitely knows Kiriko for sure, because if I'm in that position, I am not bringing up my feelings to the person in front of me who just went through that shit.
Giving the rock part of it.
I like that.
The moment I say something and you're like, don't say this right now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he even prefaces.
He's so fucking
prefaces
mindful. He's so
what he's going to
considerate.
say. He's like, what I'm saying is out of line for the timing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want me to be saying it, throw that rock.
Yeah.
And Kiriko does not throw the rock.
It's what Kiriko
Maru
needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until Maru starts bringing up the idea of, like, I'm going to protect you.
Yeah.
And Kiriko's like, starts crying like, I'm the bodyguard.
There's so much they do to make the characters so much more fascinating or like or quirky that I never see. Like, the idea of hiccuping when you cry. Like, that's not needed, but that's why I love this show. I wanted to talk about Tokyo's perspective after being given this baby. Like, and it connects to Mimihime and the idea of their lack of sense of direction and what to do. They have no fucking context for anything, and it is so, like, depressing and like wild. And the concept of birth alone is so foreign to Tokyo, but the instincts obviously kick in, as we've seen throughout the series with them. And then I'm like, people were like, oh, whoa, Tokyo had twins? And I'm like, Tokyo doesn't have a concept of what twins are? That's interesting to put on the table. But also, I don't know if I believe that they're twins. Like, they could so easily be twins, of course. But if Dr. Sawatari is the same person who did the brain transplant, and he's doing crazy shit, I don't know what else is capable of happening, because the language
we're giving us difference. There is a difference between the two babies.
There
There was a reason one had to be with Tokyo and one shouldn't be.
there was language used in the past episodes that led us to think that these weren't twins and it could be something else. Because of that, I don't because of that I'm like, I don't fucking know what's going on.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of lines of thinking. It could be that this second baby was completely fabricated. Like we had previously theorized that this second baby was created in order to have a decoy baby to give to the director so that Tokyo's real, authentic baby could be brought out of here and rescued. I think that we've been given ideas also that I wrote something down at the very beginning of this episode because I had kind of forgot that I wanted to just talk about it. Not that it's like too much substance, but it's more just that not only do we get almost like a pyramid with prosthetic limbs, where when we're meeting Dr. Usumi, that's why the people are so upset, because a leg was removed and it was replaced with some other technology. But then we also actually have artificial intelligence creating babies that are, changed and manipulated to hopefully be able to withstand diseases or have superior strength or intelligence. And that could also lead me to believe that maybe if we're saying that in this world can exist conversations about technology just aiding someone, and also technology creating someone, I could say that second baby was created artificially. I can say that second baby was natural, and I can say that second baby was natural and helped with some other technology, because maybe one of the twins wasn't doing as well, and we needed to use some of our technology that we've been using to create and craft these kids in order to save that baby's life or manipulated it in some way. But there is, in my mind, no doubt that there's a difference between the two, and I still don't know which one was the one that was supposed to be with Tokyo.
So I'm going to say, here's my reason for theorizing potentially that it is like they are still trapped, Tokyo and the baby, within whatever power this is, okay? So if that is the case, if at the end of that scene, Tokyo, the baby, and the director are all consumed by this thing, then Dr. Sawatari would leave with the other kid. Nobody would be holding on to the gun that the director had, that we have currently as the Kiru beam. We have that. We leave with it. We go elsewhere. We are aware of what happened to Tokyo. We are a doctor who can do crazy shit. We come up with a syringe and pass it along that can save or reverse what happened. But we're given the mission then of doing it with somebody with the same face, right? Mm-hmm. And that language enough is similar to the language that Tokyo has. So just if Tokyo is still alive and heard that same face thing, that would be intriguing enough. But my point being, at the moment, how we see Tokyo and this baby, you could not recognize that they have a similar face. How would you get to that? Would it be Maru touching it, killing Tokyo because it is somewhat Maneater-esque, and then seeing the baby? Is it Maru touching it and then they both just are like freed? Like, how do you recognize what that would be as it having the same face as you?
So since this is sci-fi, I can also go to this idea that this cocoon works as like a stasis womb, that Tokyo no longer exists as Tokyo and is a Hiriko, but is almost that the baby could still be growing inside and would have aged to the point of Maru just suspended within the body of Tokyo, within this creation that Tokyo is creating in what I'm assuming using the Hiriko powers and or becoming a Hiriko here.
Yeah. Fuck. I don't know.
I don't want to talk about Robin anymore because I feel like we have talked to the point of it being... Well, okay, I have one question about Robin, and that's my last Robin topic, I guess. And then I want to talk about the person that the Ministry finds in the locked room.
Yeah.
So my first question about Robin is, why did Robin flee? Why did Robin and all the other men that were there disappear and leave after what happens with Maru and Kiriko?
Maru would have, and Kiriko would have enough information to probably completely, like, fuck up their perspective of, like, the town's perspective of Robin.
An accusation.
Yeah.
Right. How much this group of people that idolizes Robin would take an accusation from someone who just came into the town.
Yeah.
Speaks on the group of people and the society, and I can't make a definite claim that I know how they would handle that situation. If it would be the proper handling of that situation. Also,
I'd be fucking scared Maru would come back in the dead of night and fucking kill me.
Okay. Maybe that's the case too. I think it maybe probably could do more with the person that is in that room. Why would Robin be running to that room when he's being chased by Maru? Is he gonna use it as a line of defense against Maru? Is that the only room that he knows he can lock? And so for his own safety, he's trying to go there? Why is he trying to get in that room when he's running away from Maru?
I think that it could be line of defense. That being said, I don't know. Is this person connected to a man-eater, or are they actively turning into a man-eater from a dead body?
It almost seems like the man-eater is coming out of the severed limbs.
Yeah. But
almost
the
like,
severed limbs are bandaged.
It's almost like are we trying to hinder the decay and turning into the Hiroko? It's definitely seems experimental. It almost seems to me like, were we trying to see if we could, how long, he was studying with Dr. Usumi.
Yeah.
And he knows Mimihime. So it could be that he's trying to see if he can, in his own way, shut off the process of this body becoming a man-eater. What else? He was keeping it in this room. Is he keeping it for his own safety, like lock up this thing that's going to become a monster? Or are we still doing work as a doctor? Like, we're told by people that he was going around and was actively helping people.
She registered as a resident about 3 months ago. Like, did she have the ability to turn into a man-eater like one of the kids, like in Mimahime's? Like, was she from that class?
Or did we inject
and we were able to somehow discern or find out that she was, and then Robin, being a fucked up person, was trying to do fucked up things to this girl, and then she died, and then is turning into this?
Right, like, what he does...
Or did we inject her with something that would... Yeah.
There's a lot of different theories that could involve why this girl is here in this building and visiting what I assume is a very hard place for you to come visit. And the only reason that Kiriko got permission is because they said who it was to Robin on the phone.
She's tied down with a chain.
Yeah.
Is
that because you're becoming a man-eater, or is that because you were captive here because Robin is a sick fuck?
Yeah. That's what I'm unsure about.
Yeah. Okay, those were my last things I wanted to talk. I did want to analyze the imagery of like what was happening to the girl's body, because it happened so fast and I was so freaking confused in that moment of opening the door to that room and seeing what was in there.
What the fuck could be the difference in the babies?
I mean, the fact that like Dr. Sawatari, like, he even switches it, which combination was the right one. He's like, oh no, you take the one with the mark on the foot. Just kidding, it was supposed to be the one without the mark. It's like,
Did we get the right one?
we don't know.
How would you identify? Would there be a way that Dr. Sawatari could identify if he could tell them apart? Like, if he had the proper equipment? Like, is there one that whatever he fucking did, or whatever is special or different about them, could you identify which one is different in that correct way by having the proper materials?
It had to have been upon first receiving. It had to, the difference between the two had to have been initial upon the birth, because of the fact that we have two bassinets that are named different things. I feel like, and then once the bassinets fell, that is when Dr. Sawatari didn't know which one was the right one. The only marking, the only difference holder, that we knew, was the fact that they were named different things.
What is there anything there? Tokyo Junior would probably be the actual baby. What does Junior C mean?
Yeah, what does the C stand for? No clue.
I have no good guesses. I have nothing.
Yeah, because there's no, like, word within this world that starts with a C that I can call upon that has anything to do with the creation of these interesting superpowered kids. Also, Mimihime and Shiro met back up with Taka and the other girl.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe they found somebody and got help. I don't know who they're with.
The fact that they met back up, but we only meet Mimihime and Shiro.
Yeah.
Like, how'd they get separated? I thought we were seeing the separation, and then we see them on a boat together.
That was a great scene.
And the city was really lit up.
Yeah.
It's almost like...
Do you think that they had some semblance of life of normalcy before everything went to shit?
Yeah, maybe.
I hope. You're right.
Can we, like, look up to see if there's even, like, a second season in the works? Is that cheating?
I don't want to be spoiled.
Okay. On if there's a second season in the works?
No, by looking up something.
Okay.
And I am a no-risk spoiler person.
That's fair. I don't think I'll be able to sleep not knowing it, like, with the fear that I will never have... What if I never, ever, ever get to see what it is that Maru's mission, the whole reason he's being bodyguarded? What if I never get to see
Would you animate a show that has confirmation that there's no end? I don't know. Would you animate a show that had like a Hunter x Hunter kind of vibe that has a good amount of story but is ongoing, and then whether that ongoing process is fast or slow or whatever, yes, you do that. If in 5 years we have not heard anything and then hear that there won't be a season 2, I would imagine that there is more to adapt. Like, there is more to adapt, whether it's enough or not enough. I imagine that there's manga or light novel or whatever this is past this point.
Right, stuff gets canceled. Even if there's material to animate.
Yeah.
Whether at the time that it came out, it wasn't getting the attention or views or the money, whether that was the reason, whether there was a controversy surrounding it, whether the people that were in charge of deciding what gets animated or not just decided to not go forward with this, whether it wasn't written to the point for more content at the time.
There is something extremely special in this show to me, like, that really, really will stick with me. I don't think I could read the manga ever, because if this never gets to season 2, it'd be difficult for me, because sometimes when you're watching a show, there's something that bleeds over on the animations, like, production side of things, that you feel like they put so much into, like, so much love into the animation and the direction choices, like, artistically in this show, and musically the score is phenomenal. It's beautiful. Like, I don't know if I could go from this to reading a manga, because it's so like it has so much personality and uniqueness to it. But I'm sure that the manga is great if it is a manga.
If there is ever a season 2, it'll be called Heavenly Delusion: The Noah Project.
Just came up with it.
Just came up with it right here. Second season's coming at you.
There has to be. I will lose my mind.
I
if
told
there
you I don't
isn't.
think I'll be able to sleep like without knowing.
It's just so good. It's so like, what the fuck? Like, it's amazing.
I think my last thing that I can even possibly think of in this moment of still just raw coming out of this finale episode, the final thing I can think to compliment in terms of not the obviously it's the writing at the end of the day, but compliment in terms of something that we're shown in this episode is we give a little bit of humanity back to the Takahara Academy, reminding us at the end of the day that like these kids that are escaping what is this almost experiment prison, but there are a bunch of adults who are wanting to reunite a kid with their baby, but also protect the children now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not lost on me. I wanted to make sure that I brought that up because I feel like because also it takes me back to either an episode ago or an episode 2 episodes ago where Mina is having those guys connect the wires and they're kind of having this conversation being like, are we doing something that's good right now? Like, yeah, we've been told that this is for the greater good of everyone. You know, it seems like what we've seen from other situations of once you get a group of people together, there are a lot of people who are genuinely at the end of the day following a leader, and that leader can spin stories to them all they want, and some of those leaders might have good intentions and some of them might have really bad intentions, but the followers, especially if they're given up front what seems like a great cause, what seems to be something that they can believe in morally, that they feel like they're doing the right thing, they will continue to follow. And how much at the end of the day can you fault them in comparison to the person that's intentionally manipulating the situation?
Mm-hmm.
And so to have these people at a catastrophe, the whole place that they've been living in is almost an earthquake happened, basically. Like, this is scary. But they also have been told about these scary events to come. They've been kind of haunted by this day of fate. But still their focus is on the safety of the children. And I appreciate that.
If Dr. Sawatari was the same person, and we know that person interacted with Shiro, would that mean that the reason that Mimihime and Shiro are on this boat are because they linked up with Dr. Sawatari and the other 2 kids, and that was their means of transportation on the boat?
Right, like getting on the boat, I don't think the kids necessarily could have gotten to a place with a boat without the help of the adults that were exiting the Takahara Academy,
and we know
with the
they
mission
wanted to save
protect
them.
Yeah. Where that leaves Kona, Oma, the other kids, I don't know. Maybe they split up into 2 groups of adults, and these adults ran in to find the other kids, and then these adults went out
think they'd
to get
all
the ones
be
that had already
together.
left.
I think they'd all be together, and we'd go somewhere, and I think Kona would be there, and he'd want to raise the kid. And he would inevitably, something would happen where Kona would be raising or trying to Maru, and they would go elsewhere. Something happens, Kona's not alive anymore, we get the rest with Maru.
I mean, I do like the idea that each of the twins was with one of the parents, at least to some point in the story.
Mm-hmm.
That would make me happy, especially with the line that Tokyo has. It's like, oh my god, like wanting to show Kona.
Yeah.
Does Kona know about what we've created, the 2 of us?
Yeah.
But I'm also like, how at the end of the day did Mimihime and Shiro end up by themselves?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know either. We'll never know. No, I
Yes,
hope
we will. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We hope to see you next time. We will.
If there's a next time.
There will be a next time. Damn it.
Dun dun dun.